I actually just finishing Homo Deus by Yuval Harari, and that's just one of his final conclusions is that these are information processing is what these different types of governments do, and exactly the capitalistic one allocates everything efficiently. But I love your concept of everything rusting because it's all going to the wrong places, and not only is it not useful, it actually just decays, and then you have a complete loss of capital. So in a long enough timeline, all of these things will fail. And that failure might manifest itself in all sorts of different scenarios and oppression and famine and whatever, but it's going to fail because of the information. You're not getting the real-time correct information at the end of the day. I'm really hoping all these university students will watch this. Unfortunately, I guess if you've never seen that happen and you've grown up in a world, in the Western world, where everything is always there, maybe it's a different scenario. Whereas if you maybe lived in the 80s, somewhere behind the former Iron Curtain, maybe you don't need convincing of what happens in these systems.
I think it's going to be a lot easier to sell these ideas to people who are, say, in Poland or in Hungary than in the US. But the way things are going, I mean, look, you're graduates from MIT this year. Like, put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's just graduating MIT with the same degree that you got. I mean, it does not look good for them. The interest rates are very high and house prices are very high. And so, how many years does the MIT graduate need to work in order to be able to afford to own his own home now? I think we are getting to the point where we're seeing the breakdown of the economic system, of the capitalist economic system, and people are beginning to suffer the consequences of it. And I think, I should say here, I focus on the aspect of capitalism, but the deeper discussion is after discussing capitalism, I get into the discussion of money, discussion of the monetary system. And I think the way that the threat of capitalism is really being materializing in the modern world is through the central planning of money. It's socialism in capital markets themselves. It's socialism in the money market that is at the root of the problem. It's really the fiat monetary system that is the threat to our civilization. And so generally, the people tend to think that the enemies of capitalism is these Soviet regimes or whatever, and the party that is going to support capitalism is Western governments and the U.S. government. Well, in this book, it's kind of the argument that I make is really it's modern central banks and modern governments in the West, in supposedly capitalist economies, that are actually the real threat to capitalism, because the central planning of money is slowly creeping into the central planning of everything.
Right.
And it's destroying our ability to have a market economy. And that's essentially destroying our ability to have civilization. And you see this in the civilizational breakdown we see around the world. We see conflicts increasing. We see people's quality of life deteriorating in many places. And I think there's a lot to be pessimistic about. But I end the book on a positive, optimistic note, which is that, look, ultimately, capitalism, I believe, wins because the people who adopt capitalism are just going to have infinitely superior technologies and tools to fight others. Effectively, if you're going to destroy capitalism, I mean, the only end state that you could get to is essentially, and if you really want to be truly an anti-capitalist, the only way that you can do that is to, if you hate capitalism, you can't own any tools. Like, you can't even own, you can't even own a spear to hunt rabbits, because that's capitalism. Like, if you take a tree branch and you sharpen it and you make it sharp and then you throw it at a rabbit, that's a capital good. You're a capitalist. So if you really want to be, if you really want to be consistent and honest about your opposition to capitalism, effectively, the only way that you can do it is you need to go back to essentially being a monkey slinging your own feces at other people. That's the only kind of weapon that you would have to fight capitalism if you wanted to really be consistent about it. And And that's not something that you need to do in order. I'm not asking you to do that because, well, hey, if you're anti-capitalism, then you should really not use the products of capitalism. It's not a choice. If you're destroying capitalism, if you're fighting capitalism, you are going to end up being a monkey slinging your feces in the jungle. You're going to destroy your ability to build anything more sophisticated than swinging feces at other monkeys. If you don't have the ability to live in peace in a civilized system with other monkeys, where you respect each other's rights to maintain your spears, respect each other's rights to accumulate capital, you're not even going to have spears, and you're going to be slinging shit at each other. And and that's going to make you very, very, very easy prey for anybody and any group of people that are able to continue to live in a capitalist system where they let themselves accumulate spears, accumulate computers, accumulate modern machinery and modern weapons. So that's why, ultimately, I'm optimistic about it. And that's why really Bitcoin is the punchline of this, the final punchline of the book, is that ultimately I think, we've faced threats from bears, from lions, from nature, from storms, and we've managed to, as a species, as a civilization, we've managed to defeat those things because of our ability to accumulate capital and because of our ability to come up with ideas and technologies, another topic I get into in depth in the book. And I believe we currently face a similar, much more formidable threat than bears and monkeys and rain and storms. And that threat is a monetary system that's destroying our ability to have economic calculation, that's destroying our ability to accumulate capital, that's destroying our ability to save. But guess what? We also have a lot of machinery, we have a lot of brains, and we have a lot of ways of figuring things out. And we are figuring out a way around it. I think Bitcoin is that way around it.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year is going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline. I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up. If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you gonna do? What's the choice that you're going to make?